TVS launching their naked flagship Apache RTR 310 in Thailand is a war cry, and a thunderous one as that. They mean business internationally. From the well thought of launch arena to the party to the concept of freestyling, they came across as incredibly sorted and aggressive in their approach, much like a real Apache would be on its home ground. This strategy is already paying off and will pay off more as time progresses. Their biggest strength is not this strategy though. It is a fact that TVS Apache RTR 310 is a value for money motorcycle with many segment firsts, making it possibly the best naked motorcycle in this segment, not only in India but in the world. So if you want a review, this is all you need to know. The rest is just a formality. But anyway, let's do this. Here is a new RTR 310 and a lot of them are here. We are riding all the yellow motorcycles here, but there are some other colors as well. One of them is black, the other one is this one, TVS Racing Motorsport color. I actually like this one a lot, although all the frames here, they are white. And I also like the fact that TVS has made asymmetrical colors in the alloys. Like this one has the rear as red and the front is standard black, and the yellow has the rear as yellow and the front as black. We are actually going to ride on the road for 40-50 kilometers and then on a track here in Thailand. So let's go. Testing the capabilities of the cooling of the engine probably right now rather than anything else. The bike has got what TVS calls engine coolant jacket optimization, along with 23 rows of radiator tubes, and is purported to have the best in class heat management by reducing the engine temperature because of this. And of course that means superior performance, and I believe this came handy in the Bangkok traffic and definitely will in the hotter climes of Southeast Asia especially. So this is my second time riding a made in India machine in Thailand. In fact, it's my second time since I rode here last in 2019 before pandemic, and that was when I rode from Delhi to Singapore by road. And this riding here, the made in India RTR 310, is a different feeling altogether. Definitely Indian manufacturers, they are going global. So in fact I am coming directly from Georgia. Where I was riding the RR 310 all the way to Bangkok here to the RTR 310. And the engine feels obviously the same. Perhaps it's a little bit more nippier than the RR 310 because of the lesser weight. Cruising speeds on the highway, I think this bike can cruise 100, 110 all day long. And what is the top end of the bike? Probably I think should be around 150, because the RR 310 is around 171. So guys, I'm finally ridden the RTR 310 here in Thailand on the track and on the road, and I'm telling you, this is a great fun motorcycle. You know, my first impressions about this whole branding, the whole thing that TVS wants to do, is that they're actually doing a great job, something nobody else is doing. This is
an Indian thoroughbred motorcycle, and there is no question about that. And the TVS logo on the tank, the engine which is made by TVS, which is also used by BMW, says it all. The step-up seat, the grab bars, which are very prominent, the DRL headlights up front, the twin tail lights, and everything is just gels, just gels properly into giving it a proper street fighter.
I'm a big fan of the Ducati Street Fighter V4S that I also proudly own. I could have never imagined that I would be referring to the SFV4 in the context of an India made motorcycle in the 300cc segment. But that's the truth. And the comparison is more so in the electronic suite rather than the looks. Can you believe that? Now you decide whether I've lost my mind or TVS has really knocked the ball out of the park with this one. The TVS RTR 310 has a world's first seat with cooling and heating in this segment. And that's just the start. Headlights that brighten up or dim based on your speed. Tail lights that flash when you brake hard. A 5-inch super smooth color TFT screen. Riding modes with a new Supermoto mode that disables the rear ABS. Race-tuned dynamic stability control with 6-axis IMU. Cornering ABS, cornering traction control, cornering cruise control, wheelie control, slope dependent control, rear lift-off control, bi-directional quick shifter, oh this is a nice one. Race-tuned linear stability control, tire pressure monitoring system. This even the Street Fighter doesn't have. TVS SmartX Connect with telephony, music control, GoPro control, smart helmet connectivity. Oh, give me a break. Voice assist, race telemetry, precise turn-by-turn navigation with what 3 words, DigiDocs and crash alert. And let's not forget the fully adjustable suspension with preload compression and rebound damping on the front and preload and rebound on the rear. This is a 300cc motorcycle made in India that we're talking about, not a Ducati Street Fighter. Damn.
And when you sit on a motorcycle, because of the step seat and because of the well sculpted tank, although I would have loved that the tank is a little bit higher, you get that extra confidence to do freestyling motorcycle, as TVS wants to call it. This is going to be a proper hooligan motorcycle, as is also seen in the ads that TVS has come out with. I just rode it on the track, which is, I might add, very bumpy, and it was a lot of fun.
The Thailand motorsport circuit here. Let's see how the circuit is. The engine is almost the same, and the slipper clutch really helped on the track, and in fact I really rely on engine braking even on the road. So that is something which really goes on well for this motorcycle. Along with that, the choice of tires is pretty good. It's got the Michelin performance tires, 150, which could have been maybe 160, 170, but then of course the performance suffers, but could have added to the looks. If you guys really want the Street Fighter look, you can actually go for upsize. There's nothing bad about the ride quality at all. Vibrations are there as much as in any single cylinder motorcycle, but they have really managed it quite well, I have to admit, especially the higher speeds and while accelerating. And overall I think it's a very well built motorcycle that you can enjoy on the road while not breaking the bank.
It didn't basically threaten to throw you off despite the bumps, although the traction control was quite intrusive sometimes, but that is the idea of the traction control, right? What is the basically aspirational value for this? What is the end game for TVS? The end game for TVS, I think, like all of us, is that to showcase India in a very different light, in a light that we make products which can be sold around the world, which can be ridden by people around the world who have had experience with other established brands like Ducati and BMW. So we are no lesser than them. I love how the front shrouds are. I love the DRL lamp, the twin lamps and everything. But what would make it better? I think number one thing which people would agree is the exhaust. The exhaust is same as the Apache RR 310, which could have been different, truth be told, could have been shorter. And I was actually trying to think really far ahead, saying that the exhaust could have been under seat as well before they convert everything into an electric. Rear tail lamps could have been more defined, little bit longer. I mean, I don't want to make it like a Street Fighter V4 that I have, because a lot of people are also comparing it with that in terms of looks. Would have given it a more better definition, and I feel that the tail could have been little bit more swept up, and the whole tail, it could have been little higher for the pillion, of course. But then there are motorcycles which are doing very well despite that fact that the rear is very high. For example, the Yamaha R15. Maybe down the line also we can finally see an underseat exhaust or a single side swing arm on an Indian motorcycle, and I want a completely built in India, and I want Apache to be the first one in that. The other nitty gritties are there, like for example, the RR310 has race spec written on it. This has hyper spec written on the trellis. There is an aluminum subframe over here. The weight, because it is naked, is around 7 to 8 kgs lesser than the RR310, and in fact it makes little bit more torque and power than the RR310, and at lower revs. That means better usability, in the real world on the street. Now, talking about another thing is that this has a little bit different sprocketing, which I'll put on the screen below, which makes the initial little bit better than the RR310. Now, another question which might be common is, which bike should you go for, the RR310 or the RTR 310? It completely depends on what you want as an individual, what you like. I love street nakeds. I mean, I have a Ducati Street Fighter, which, truth be told, this bike looks a little bit like that, and that is supposed to be a compliment. Every motorcycle has a design element which has been taken from some other bike in some era. It is not possible that you have a completely new design. People are saying that the console here is similar to the Dukes. Tell me, if you have a console like this and if it is just hanging in the air, won't it look similar to another naked motorcycle? Of course it could. I mean, you would have said that you could have made this round like the Ronin or something like that. But let's not nitpick here. We are seeing a really world-class product at a world-class launch here right now in Thailand. Of course, as a customer, you would be spending your money on this. Final question is whether you should spend your money on this or not. There is very less competition that the RTR 310 has today in India. According to me, G310 is not even a competition. The BMW looks very simple in front of this. The Dukes are for people who just want extreme styling. Of course, the Duke has a different engine. It's got lots more horsepower, lighter. If you want an affordable, high quality, naked motorcycle which looks the part and can stand in your living room or bedroom as a design piece, then I'm telling you, this is it. There is one more thing which is not here on the bike, the sadi guard. So I don't know how the sadi guard actually looks when it will be sold in India, but obviously you can take that off. I enjoyed the motorcycle a lot. It reeks of quality, and despite having powerful motorcycles, I would not mind. In fact, I would love to have this motorcycle, customize it the way I want. First thing I'm going to do is change the exhaust. That is what I'm going to do, and then play around with the colors. Talking about colors, there are 3-4 variants that they have, including the TVS Motorsport variant, which actually looks very good. But overall, the yellow and grey looks fantastic on the road and of course off the road. When I was looking at the riders in the distance on the track, I have to say this because we still are not out of that mindset. This bike was not looking like an Indian motorcycle. That is a very strange thing for us Indians to say. But look, we have started comparing our bikes made in India with bikes that are made by other manufacturers since many years. And that is a very good thing, because now we are finally up there. TVS also showed touring ready RTR 310s yesterday at the event, and they really looked amazing with the front, visor and tail bag and the side panniers and stuff like that. So I think they will come out with a host of accessories, riding gear, which would go with this kind of a style very soon. So I wish all the best to TVS.
The Apache RTR 310 starts at 2,43,000 for the black color without the quick shifter, another 15,000 rupees for the quick shifter in black, while the Fury yellow comes at 2,64,000, and then you can add the dynamic kit or the dynamic pro kit and also go for the Sepang blue color.
Really enjoyed, so did a lot of people. They're giving rave reviews. You guys take care and ride safe.